So, how does this work? How do you actually do the thing? How do you do the shadowing? Find the audio that you want to practice with, similar to comprehensible input. It can be audio, it can be podcasts, it can be, well, it has to be audio, but it can be podcasts, it can be music. You can do this with music 100%. The news and slow series, YouTube videos, movies. Movies is a great one, especially if you have a favorite movie. Again, going back to Disney, you can just have a whole scene where you're acting out the scene with the characters. And this honestly makes me remember probably almost 7, 8 years ago when I was going through school teaching. One of the kids, it was around the time when Frozen, the original, like Frozen 1 came out. And one of the kids was reenacting the entire scene when Elsa is singing Let It Go. Like the entire scene, standing up on, the highest point and flaring out the skirt and magic, like all of it. She had all of it down. Like that could be you in another language. And I'm not exaggerating, but I think sometimes we have to have fun with our process. And so you could literally go, okay, this whole scene in a movie, that's going to be me. I'm going to be pretending to be that character and trying to say the lines as they're saying it in the shadowing practice. I've shadowed with YouTube videos and songs. I didn't think to do it with movies. Yes. We need, one of the most important things is to have fun with this process, because if we're not having fun with our language studies, it is easier to give up and to lose confidence in ourselves. So whatever way that you can build in fun, do it. If you love to belt songs, whether you can sing or not, through your house, find a song and shadow. Just sing the song over and over again with the singer. But your goal is not just to sing the song, it's to sing the song like the singer. Your goal is not to reenact the scene and shadow with the actor in a movie. It's to reenact the scene exactly like the actor or actress, to say the words as they've said it, to pause when they pause, to raise your voice when they raise their voice, and to lower your voice when they lower theirs, because you want to, again, get a feel for it in your body, all the parts that help us to speak. You want to get that used to talking in a different language. And it's going to 100% make it easier for you to actually talk to people now in the future. So this is one of the strategies that I definitely recommend for my introvert people, for my shy people, or my people who are just like, I don't want to talk to native speakers all the time because it drains my energy. Shadowing is one of the things that you can do. Comprehensible input will help to build your sort of phrase bank in your mind. The shadowing practice will help you with pronunciation and intonation. And then the sentence building will help you to actually practice making sentences, because conversation happens when we're making sentences. And if you're not confident in doing that, you have to practice either with a person who's going to give you immediate feedback or on your own with a very strategic strategy or two. Yeah, it's okay if what you're saying is kind of gibberish, because you're just trying to keep up and preserve the intonation. And then you get to try again and have fun with the process. So before I move on to the last one, well, a couple things. So far, we talked about comprehensible input. We've talked about shadowing as two of the 3 strategies that I love for my language studies. So if you have any questions about those, or you want more clarity on either of those things, let me know as I'm readjusting screens. Loving it so far. Love to hear it. Absolutely love to hear it. I mean, if you couldn't already tell, I could talk about this all day. Actually, let me see. As of today, because I write down all these topics for live streams based on things I've talked about before, and I've seen really good conversations, in comments, or based on things that people ask me, usually over on TikTok, but sometimes in email. And so I write down these topics. So as of right now, I have, let's see, I think like 60 topics, if not more, that I plan to talk about at some point. So should movies be watched with subtitles in the target language? It depends on what you're trying to do and what type of subtitles. If you mean subtitles in your native language, I usually don't recommend that, because we can easily use them as a crutch. But I also still use them many times. But I prefer, actually, when I'm actively studying, I prefer either no subtitles at all or subtitles in the language that I'm listening to or subtitles in another language. So, for example, listening to something in or watching a video in Japanese or a movie in Japanese. Netflix allows for a lot of different like subtitle options, and I know YouTube as well. So I might put the Japanese movie or video with Japanese subtitles, or I might watch the Japanese video with Korean subtitles because it's helping me to master two different languages that are not my native language. So, but it also depends. Like, what is the goal in watching this? Is the goal to train your ear in understanding? Then I might just completely turn the subtitles off. But I also know, as a native English speaker, I still keep subtitles on English content because it just helps me to understand better when I'm reading and watching at the same time. So I think it's a personal preference, but for the sake of learning, I usually don't keep like my native English subtitles on a non-English content piece, just because I personally know there was a video that I watched of someone, I don't remember her name, on YouTube, one of my favorite YouTubers who speaks Japanese. She did an interview with someone else who in Japanese was like, when we have subtitles, or in the case of Japanese, when you have furigana, we read like this. And we read around the kanji and we never actually look at it. So when we have English subtitles, we're reading the words on the screen and we're not actively listening and training our ears to understand the words. And it's a crutch. So I would personally have same subtitles as the audio content or a different language other than my non-native. It takes you effort to not talk about language. Got to put tape over my mouth. Well, see, that's why I love these lives, because then I get to talk about language learning stuff all the time. And I'm like, if you don't want to hear me talk about it, then you shouldn't be here. This is not the place for you. And you've done that. Watch a show in Russian with Japanese subtitles. It is a wild experience. It absolutely is a wild experience because your brain, like for example, I have a podcast, a couple podcasts actually that I love, where it's doing a similar like brain tingle because it's a podcast that's in Japanese and Korean. And I'm like, I understand you, but I don't know what language you're speaking for like the first 5 seconds of them talking each time. So yeah, it's definitely similar. This is hard for me because I don't want to miss any context in my shows. So then what I would recommend is watch the show. Yeah, what Sam is saying, watch the show multiple times. Absolutely. And what you could do is watch the show first with the English subtitles so that you actually understand what's going on, and then watch it again with, no subtitles. Or you could watch it without subtitles first, see how much you understand, watch it again without subtitles. Did I pick up anything new? And then the third time, watch it with English subtitles and go, okay, now how much do I understand now? So you could, there's so many different orientations that you could do with this. And I'm trying to think, what would I personally do? I know that I would use English subtitles as a crutch, so I would probably listen to it without subtitles a couple times and then put the English subtitles on at the end, except if I'm using it as comprehensible input. If I'm using it as comprehensible input, I will listen to it without subtitles a few times, and then I'm just going to move on and say, hopefully I understood most of what was being said, and keep on moving. And thank you for subscribing over on YouTube. Is it Dano? I hope I'm saying one of those is right. Please let me know how to say your name. Yes, Kemushi-chan. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, it was a Koyateyomu. That was the video. That's all I remember from that one video. I always hear it in my head anytime I have subtitles on that are in English. I just hear her, and I think it was the person from Nihongo no Mori, I think. And it was they were like, Koyateyomu. Like, we read this way. Yep, that was exactly who it was. And that happens in Terrace House. I was so confused when they started speaking Korean. Oh, yeah. But see, my brain is like, why do I understand you, but it sounds off? Like, it doesn't sound like Japanese, but I'm not, it takes my brain a minute to switch. Always remember that joke, 100.